So the book is called Litigating Climate Change in the Global South, and it's a bigger project that comes from an article that Jackie and I wrote and was published in 2019. So the book basically examines an area of climate litigation that has not been examined before, which is what's happening in the Global South. And by the Global South, we were looking at the developments in the regions of Africa, Latin America, and Asia. Our three big case studies in the book are India, South Africa, and Brazil. They're called the front-runner jurisdictions because these are the jurisdictions in each of these geographical areas where the highest number of cases have been filed and decided.
We wrote this book because we thought there was something new and interesting going on, and that was the fact that climate litigation, which had traditionally been a kind of northern wealthy country thing, was beginning to emerge across countries in the Global South. So we're interested about why this was happening and what kind of contribution it might make to addressing climate change, and more importantly, what different kinds of views it might present about how we tackle climate change compared to a northern perspective. We were very aware when we were writing the book that while both of us live in the Southern Hemisphere, we're not from countries that are Global South countries. I'm based in Australia, Jolene in Singapore, both are wealthy, industrialised countries. But the reason that we thought we could offer something around this topic was because of the deep experience we have looking at climate litigation across the world. And we also really wanted to start an analysis in this area, prompt other scholars to come on board from Global South countries to share their experiences. So that's something we say at the end of the book, that we really hope that this is just the start of scholarship in this area, and it really invites in a new generation of climate litigation scholars to tell us about what's going on in their jurisdictions and the contributions it's making.
In this book, we sought to answer a couple of key questions. So where was the litigation happening? Who was bringing the litigation? What kind of pathways were being taken in terms of the strategies? And impact. What is the impact of all this litigation? And basically, Jackie and I have talked about impact in two different categories. One is, of course, a direct impact, which is like a win in the courtroom. But we're also really interested in the indirect impacts of litigation. And so I think what's really interesting is that in a lot of our interviews and discussions with litigants, many of them have lost cases in the courtroom, but they actually feel they've won. And they feel they've won because the defeat in the courtroom didn't mean the end of the case. The case continued to be discussed in the media. It continued to be a focus point for further action and discussion about what we need to do on climate change. And to them, that was a win.
When we're thinking about the audience for this book, there's a couple of different audiences. There are a lot of lawyers, judges, legal advocates, and indeed litigators who are very interested deeply in the developments that are happening in climate litigation and their expansion into new jurisdictions. So that's one audience. And I think also we wanted to provide our students, our young people, all of those who are really engaged with this question of how we make progress on climate change, with some hope and a feeling that they can make a difference wherever they're coming from in the world. And we saw across the Global South some really innovative work, really committed work being done that really points to the importance of a collective diverse effort to tackle this problem.